Hey yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today we'll be doing a kit review. Obviously I promise you guys we'll be doing some Mandalorian content and to update you further. So without further ado, let's get into the video of Cara, Dune and the other guy, Greef Karga. So I'm just gonna read through the kit, tell you my impressions on it, and yeah, overall I have to say I'm pretty impressed. Hopefully they do it correctly this time. So let's start with the abilities. So Bar Room Brawler, deal physical damage to target enemy if there is a scoundrel ally in the leader slot. Cara Dune gains stealth until the end of her next turn. If there is a rebel ally in the leader slot, Cara Dune loses stealth and gains taunt for 2 turns. So what I initially thought about this, it's really interesting. If you know, she has both a rebel and a scoundrel tag, and it's I'd say one of the first ones to have such an interesting dynamic in that it's compatible for both. And the fact that she acts differently when she's in a rebel team and a scoundrel team, I thought was really interesting. And so if you read that, it says if rebel allies in the leader slot, it loses taunt, stealth and gains taunt, but if she's in the scoundrel ally, she gains stealth. Okay, that's really interesting. The fact that she stealths in a scoundrel, but then gains taunt, means so it depends on the kit, but for their stealth and tanks are complete opposites. If a character has stealth, it probably tells you that it's a glass cannon of some kind, doing a lot of damage but weak. However, in the rebel team, it gains taunt, and taunting is obviously for tanks and with lots of health. So I thought that was really interesting. So special 1 gains potency up for 1 turn, then deals physical damage to all enemies and removes 50% of their turn meter. Empire allies enemies are stunned for 1 turn. So you see more, but with the surrounding this character and Empire, but I speculate that this is some kind of counter to the Empire. As you all know, there's going to be an Empire buff, so Empire's going to be good. Possibly this will be a counter, because Empire's obviously still not great right now. Obviously can counter Padme and stuff, but generally in squad arena and stuff, it's not that great. And the fact that it specifically stuns Empire, and as you see, if you read Unique 2, we'll skip to that, it says critical immunity for 2 turns and 100% turn meter whenever an Empire enemy. That is oddly specific, I have to say. And obviously this might be some kind of counter to Empire when it gets its rework, you know, we never know. But I just thought that was something to note. Let's continue reading Unique 2, because we've read it. Cara Dune has potency up. When she's defeated, she's revived. Okay, that is also an interesting mechanic in the fact that it revives. So she's a tank and she can get revived. Stealth, wow. And let's go back to Unique 1, the last one. Infiltrator. While stealth, Cara Dune has 100% critical chance and 50% critical damage. When Cara Dune loses taunt, she gains stealth for 1 turn at the start of her next turn. I think, now reading it again, it might be like K2SO, but like a better version. So it's really annoying. Just tanks a few times, tanks for 1 turn, and then goes back into hiding. But the fact that she stealths as well, I'm speculating if she does some good damage, it's gonna be a really annoying, really annoying character. So generally, very impressed with this kit. I think that it works well with rebels, as you can see, as well as scoundrels. So this is really interesting, the fact that it does well with both. And it says, yeah, as you can see there, synergy suggestions and strong anti-empire synergies. Why is that? Exactly. I think the only appropriate thing to note is that fits well in the CLS team as a 5th slot instead of C3PO somewhere else, and the fact that it does that is it makes it already really viable, because obviously C3PO is used for many teams like Padme and Rebels, CLS to say the least. So I think most people use C3PO and Padme nowadays, so it's already very viable, the fact that it synergizes really well with the CLS team. So I'd say it's worth farming already, and the fact that it's a Rebel and Scoundrel tag is really interesting. So let's move on to Greef Karga's thing. Obviously we see the new Mandalorian, and obviously the best few that you definitely need in Bounty Hunter team so far right now is Bosk, Dengar and Django, and the other two are flexible, possibly Boba, but now Greef Karga fits in the last slot quite nicely, and yeah, seems extremely good from what I've read so far. It's a bounty hunter, obviously, and yes, I think this is also another very good character. So we'll read through it and I'll explain why it's good. Basic: deal physical damage to all target enemy twice and inflict these for 2 turns. All allies with payouts active recover 5% health and protection. So just making sure. So that is really good. I mean, recover 5% health and protection. Wow. Just on a basic, and it inflicts stays, and it targets the enemy twice. That is really good. That reminds me of the Bosk lead with the regeneration. So you probably want him to assist, and as I read through the kit, you realize he regenerates a lot of the bounty hunters team, increasing the survivability by a lot. So that is why I speculate it will be particularly good on Grand Arena defense, I suspect, but not sure yet, but definitely very viable, making the bounty hunter team already better than it is now. It's still quite a viable team right now. It just makes it even better. Bring them in cold. Special 1. Dispel all buffs on target enemy which can't be evaded. Then call all other bounty hunter allies to assist as allies with payouts active. Deal 30% more damage if an enemy defeated. Gain all these buffs. Okay, this is you can see that there's a cooldown of 6, which is a lot, but it calls everyone to assist, mass assist, like Bosk's 2 mass assists. You also see that this is very centrally based around payouts, and you realize that obviously it's already good without the payout, but I suspect the team gets 3-fold, 4-fold better with the payout, because all these amazing things are with the payouts. Anyways, deal 30% more. So I'd say this is one of those that you can usually defeat an enemy, and you want to make sure you defeat an enemy, and obviously you won't be able to defeat them if they're like full health, full protection, but if you get it down low enough, and then you get all these buffs. I mean, this kind of reminds me of BB-8's Illuminated Destiny, where he gains all these buffs, and once he gains that Illuminated Destiny, the game's over. Just like this ability, where it's kind of like a train, and once you get all these buffs, you know, you've pretty much won the game. So it seems very good right now, but obviously you have to preoccupy until payout, and I think the Mandalorian leader and his kit and his leadership will really decide whether he and the Mandalorian are good. Special 2, dispel or debuffs on bounty hunter allies, gain retribution, recover 25% health and protection doubled, so 50%. If they have a payout, as I said, the idea with payout, allies with payouts active, gain tenacity up for 2 turns and 50% turn meter. That is really good. 50% turn meter and tenacity up, and 50% health and protection. I already told you, I thought it was very centrally based around survivability. He definitely gets buffs to survivability by a massive amount which was why I was hinting in a good Grand Arena defense. Cooldown of 5, as you can see, all quite a large cooldown, but I mean, it's amazing, these the 2 abilities. And it gains 50%. Like, this is very, 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 very good so far. So, leader. I won't read. I will sift through this quite quickly because Mandalorian is obviously the main leader. But I'll read through this. Gain 30% max protection. An allied bounty hunter gains a buff. They recover 5% protection when he's in the leader slot. The following contract: attack out of turns, have their payouts activated, and gain 20% crit chance in offense. I'd say that's actually not too bad, but I still think Mandalorian lead will be prioritized, just like Yoda's lead. I mean, Yoda's lead, everyone went and Zeta for it, so definitely don't do that. I mean, I don't think there's a Zeta actually, but yeah, I mean, if you need a secondary team, I think that lead will be good. But it still won't be too good because obviously, you know, Bosk does 5% protection and health, whereas this one's just protection. Obviously, it has the max protection, but I don't know if it'll affect the team that much. Unique one boss of the guild. At the start of the encounter, Greef gains stealth for 2 turns each time any bounty hunter ally earns their payout. Allied bounty hunters' cooldowns are reduced by 1, and Greef also gains the following bonuses: 10% counter chance, critical avoidance, and max health. Okay. So he's obviously, he seems like a glass cannon, the way he gets stealth and stuff. I mean, again, the idea with payout, cooldowns are reduced by 1. I mean, that is really everyone. Yeah, well, whoever, yeah, every time they gain a payout, cooldowns are reduced. Greef gains all these stuff: 10% counter charge, critical damage, avoidance, and max health. So helping him out as a glass cannon, I suspect he's a really good support character, but you need to protect him at all costs. So his payout is, because obviously he needs a payout. Obviously, you know, every bounty hunter has their unique payout, and you set that off by getting the contract. Whenever Greef receives rewards from a contract, he also gains the following payout: dispels all debuffs on bounty hunter allies, and he recovers 100% health and protection. Wow. See, the idea was to get glass cannon, the fact that he needs to protect himself. Greef gains stealth for 1 turn at the end of each of his turns. Whenever Greef becomes inflicted with a debuff, his cooldowns are reduced by 1. So all this 6 cooldown, 5 cooldown, the fact that it helps every single bounty hunter ally. He's a glass cannon, but if you target him, his cooldowns are just going to reduce and reduce. So, seems very effective. And indeed, as I said, a very good Grand Arena defense, I suspect. So, overall, I think he seems like an amazing character, definitely worth farming. Definitely good. If you haven't got Chewbacca yet, definitely wait till you get him, and just wait for it. Just wait for him, and he seems amazing, compatible with Mandalorian. Well, obviously we'll be checking that out soon. And I just want to quickly look at the developer insights of Greef Karga. So obviously he's a support and last piece of the puzzle. And yeah, what they suggest is Jango Fett, Greef Karga, Embo, Dengar, and Bosk. Okay, that is really good. Obviously Jango Fett, yeah, Greef Karga, but it says you can swap Embo for Boba, and that is the team they suggest. So we'll definitely be trying that out, or we'll be doing a test for that. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.